Today, we're going to be talking about what is really like strong and weighing in as I'm having so many phone calls, so many discovery calls, people coming into Hello Body Freedom, new clients coming in, and just the conversations that I'm having one on one with these new clients, with these prospective clients, in terms of what it really takes to be on a sustainable weight loss journey, right? What it means to be in a health, healing, and sustainable weight loss journey. So, if that is something that you want for your life this year, if that is something that you are desiring, if it's something that you've tried and failed, we just got finished running the 5 day Path to Freedom challenge that really put together the missing pieces. So, we're going to talk about those missing pieces. But what is super clear to me is that we're going to work on 9 different things today. I'm going to walk you step by step, and these are not necessarily hard things. I would say the 2 that require help, we'll get into those for a second. But if indeed you are in this place where you are just really desiring to feel better in your body, I'm having conversations with clients who have kids, and the only way that they've been able to lose weight is to follow some regimented, strict food diet plan. And then when they finally lose the weight and then they try to go back to this normal way of living, they gain the weight back, right? I'm having calls with clients who are pre diabetic who are really struggling with their health and they are just like ready for these changes. So if that is something that you are interested in, if you are looking for a way out of diet culture and a way to do this in a non-diety sustainable way, I am literally handing you these 9 steps that I think are life-changing, profound, and will ultimately help you along your journey. If you have any questions whatsoever at all, please make sure to reach out. Let me know. I am here to help you. Our Hello Body Freedom VIP coaching is open. So I'll go ahead and put this right here. So at any point when you decide you have questions for me and you want to have a better conversation, like hop on over to hellobodyfreedom.com/apply. We have spots open in our year-long coaching program to help you heal the deeper reasons why you struggle with body and weight in the first place. And so let's go ahead and dive in. And we're going to start with the very first one, which is at some point, you've got to make a decision. At some point, you've got to stop making excuses or going, why isn't it working? Or, man, I really would love to do that. Or, I hope I can do that. I'm not sure if I can. At some point, you're going to have to decide that I'm going to start today, that this matters to me. And I'm going to say yes and decide to go right now. How many times do you go, I'll wait until Monday. I'll wait until the holidays are over. I'll wait until the birthday's over. I'll wait until the vacation's over. It's like all of these reasons to not start. And anybody that ever does this, that actually moves forward, they fucking decide. They make a decision. They go, damn it, I'm starting today. I'm starting right now. Like, what can I do in this exact moment to start? And then over and over again, they are taking those baby step actions, but really understanding that it is in the decision. It is in the decision to start taking action that will change the trajectory of your life. Okay. And if you need help with that, right, I'm going to keep going because all of these I think are doable. All of these can be done. But if you need help with that, if you keep getting stuck and you keep coming up against a roadblock about even getting started, make sure to go check out Hello Body Freedom. There's likely a deeper reason why that's happening. All right. Let's move on to the second one. Okay. So this is very simple math. We talked about this in the 5 day Path to Freedom challenge, Food and Body Freedom challenge, which we did last week. But we're not going to get into the nitty gritty here because I want to walk through all 9 steps. But at the end of the day, weight loss is an equation. This is the amount of energy that I take in. This is the amount of energy, the calories that I put on my body, the drinks that I drink, the food that I eat. There's an amount of energy that I'm taking in. And if I expend a little bit more, and what does expend energy mean? That means everything that we do to use the body. So everything we are talking about is being in the body. How many of you live completely disconnected from your body, right? All up in your head. The equation is body based. I take in this much energy, and if I'm expending a little bit more, so I'm going for a walk, I'm working on my computer, I'm running errands, like it's the life and lifestyle you live, whatever that looks like for you. That does not mean you have to go to CrossFit classes. That does not mean you have to have some exact exercise regime. Literally, it simply means that this is how much energy I take in. This is how much energy I expend. There is a little deficit. And because there is a deficit in the energy that you are expending versus the energy that you are consuming it with food and drinks and calories, however that looks, because there is a deficit, your body will be looking for that energy from somewhere. And when it can't get it from extra food that you're putting in your body, it will start to break down your fat reserves. This is how we lose weight. That's it. So without it getting so complex, if you look at the span, I think a 2-week span is a really good time. If we are looking at the course of 2 weeks, if your weight has gone down inside of the course of 2 weeks by a little bit, what ends up happening is just what we said. That means you're taking in a little less than you're expending. You're taking in a little less energy, you're expending a little bit more, weight went down. If nothing changes, you found like equanimity. You're right in the middle. You're equal. You're give or take. Most days, you are taking in exactly what your body needs to keep your weight the same. Or if you are gaining weight, it's the opposite, right? There's no shame, there's no judgment. But at the end of the day, this is what is required. This is how it works. Now, here's the problem why when you think, I'm just going to go on a diet. The problem with diets is that you take in this much energy, you expend this much energy. What happens with weight loss diets or cutting out whole food groups, what happens is it's massive calorie restriction. You end up drastically decreasing the amount that you take in. And that, my friends, is a big problem. It does not work with the way that your body prefers to work. It is a major stressor on the body. And studies all over show that whenever we physiologically or emotionally restrict, when we massively restrict, we will always end up swinging the pendulum over to the other side. This is why 90 to 97% of all weight loss diets, where you are massively decreasing the amount of calories, and the reason they work, I don't care if you're doing the cheese diet, the cookie diet, the keto diet, the vegan diet, whatever diet plan you're following, if you're losing weight on it, it is because you are taking in less energy than you are expending. But when you are drastically creating this massive gap and you are losing weight fast, this is usually the recipe for disaster for gaining the weight back, right? Diet plans don't work because you're following some regimented plan that has nothing to do with the life and lifestyle that you are living. We have to figure out how to make this work for your life and your lifestyle. Can you eat cookies and ice cream? Can you have a glass of wine with your friend? These are conversations I've been having all week long. Yes, you can have all of this because at the end of the day, it's as simple as making sure that whatever it is, whether it's nighttime eating, whether it's cookies in the middle of the afternoon, whether it's a glass of wine or two with your friend, if that amount of energy that you are taking in is less than the amount that you're expending, in an average over the course of, I take it 2 weeks at a time with my clients, then you will see that your weight will go down in the right direction. Okay. This is how weight loss works. Okay. So the question should be, what are you willing to do that you can live with, right? For your entire weight loss journey. Because if your weight loss journey is about following some regimented food plan that feels so completely opposite from the life you're used to living, now you've lost some weight, congratulations, but now you're back to feeding your 3 kids and eating their fish sticks off their plate and then wanting to go out to parties. And now you feel guilty. Oh crap, I wasn't eating that food before, but should I eat it now? You have no idea how to sustain what you've done because the way that you lost weight it was completely counterproductive to the way you live your life now. Okay. So you have to learn a way. And I know this is so hard for people to hear because what we want to do is give up complete responsibility for our own lives and our own decisions. We're like, no, just hand me a food plan. I don't have time to think about this. But the problem with that is because you're unwilling to be in the process and be with your body and learn what works for you and learn how you can still eat bread. You can have bread. You don't have to eat 10 loaves of bread. Like you can have cookies. That doesn't mean you have to eat 10 bags of cookies. Like you get to figure out how to live your life in a way that you actually enjoy living your life and also be on a health, healing, and weight loss journey. Okay. All right. So the other part I want to say about that, because remember, it's about how much you expend. I want to be really clear here with the amount of energy. We just talked about how much energy you take in, right? Like it's a complete fallacy that if you night eat, then you can't lose weight. If the only time you're eating is night, and again, if those calories are lower than the amount you're expending, then you're going to lose weight. I don't care if you're eating at 3 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, right? This is how the system works. Anybody can try to fight me on this. This is literally how it works. What about hormones, Audra? Your hormones might make it difficult from a standpoint of You didn't get enough sleep. Now your cortisol's up. Now your serotonin's down. Now you're just sleepy and tired, and your body is looking for energy because you didn't get the energy boost that you needed from getting good sleep. And then your body's going, oh, I must be hungry. And then you start snap grabbing on all sorts of other shit when you're not actually hungry. And then you finally get good sleep and you're like, oh shit, I just massively overate yesterday, right? That's how it works. When you're going through menopause and your hormones are dysregulated, I promise you, I have clients going through menopause. They lose weight because they take in this much energy and they expend this much and the weight goes down. That's just how it works. Do hormonal dysregulation and menopause, does that make it a little bit more challenging? Yeah, you'll probably lose weight at a slower rate, probably. But does that mean it doesn't work? Of course not. You can totally lose weight in that regard. Okay. But let's talk about energy. So we're still on number two because number two is a big one. I promise they won't all take this long. But so many of us have to figure out what can I do to increase what I expend in a day, right? And so many of us, again, it's just like eating. We're going to like completely alter our food to go on some crazy ass diet versus, and the same thing happens with exercise. You're like, I've been sitting on the couch for the last 5 years. I don't really do anything. Maybe I'm going to go join Orange Theory or I'm going to go join a CrossFit gym or I'm going to go run a marathon. It's just, God, where it's like going from like absolute nothing to all the way black and white. Where's the middle ground? What I want to tell you is that most of my clients get the most bomb ass results by doing these two things in terms of energy expenditure, right? Adding in, and I have a caveat to this whole thing I'm about to say, but I'm going to say this first. One is, how do you just increase the amount you're moving your body throughout the day? So, what would that look like? So, a lot of people, I have an aura ring. I love my aura ring because it tells me my sleep and it tells me my steps. I love it, right? I can tell when I've sat on my ass all day, and I can tell when I've made it a priority to get up and just walk around the house for a couple of minutes every hour or so, right? Whenever you are just trying to figure out how do I increase movement, you don't want to make it so difficult. You don't want to make it where you have to go buy a new pair of running shoes. You got to buy a new gym membership. You got to drive there. Just get your butt off your chair and walk around the house, right? Just park a little further so you have to walk a little further, right? I make jokes about this a lot, but every weekend I go to Costco to buy all of our giant things that we get in bulk at Costco to save a little bit of money. But I like running that errand because the Costco parking lot is giant and it's always packed. I always have to park in the back. Who knows what I'm talking about? And then I go all the way up and down these aisles and I'm huffing and tuffing. I'm telling you, I get 15,000 steps on a day to this Costco, right? So, how can you park further away, take the stairs instead of the elevator, get off your tush and walk around the office for a second, run some errands. Like there's so many ways that we can up just what we're doing in day-to-day life. And you can do these with high heels on. You could do this with a dress and full makeup on. You don't have to have a sweat vest to do it. Okay. So that is the very, very first step I have all of my clients do. Can we get the amount we're moving up? And then the second one that is so highly underrated that I think that the most sustainable weight loss journeys, the women that really lock and load this down, is they just start walking. They just start walking. They start slow, they start gentle, they open their front door, they walk 5 minutes out the door, turn around and walk 5 minutes back, and they are done. Right? This kind of stuff changes lives. And it's so not sexy. I totally get it. But this is how it does it. Now, with all of this talking about taking in energy, and then expending a little bit more. What I really want you to hear about moving your body and exercise is that, yes, it is part of the quotient, but it is not as big as you think. There is like a little slice of the pie. And so for those of you who are really you're at this level of eating, you're not maybe willing to change the food and the calorie intake, but your weight just keeps staying the same, maybe just a little bit extra movement might start to turn the dial, right? In the direction that you wanna go. But understanding that a lot of us have this idea of, gosh, like, I just need to start exercising. Actually, while it's important because it makes you feel good and our bodies are meant to move, and I want you to move, and it can create a little bit of that deficit that we're looking for, the bigger issue at hand almost always is our relationship with food and what we're doing with food. Okay, so that was a lot longer than I thought, but here we go. Number 1, decide to take action. Number 2, it's that sustainable weight loss looks like taking in a little less energy than you expend. All right. So we talked about that from a food perspective. We talked about that also from a moving your body perspective. Now, number 3, the most sustainable way to lose weight in a meaningful way. So remember, all of these are your checklists. So get your check mark out and make sure you've got this going, right? The third piece is around connecting to your body's cues. Another way that you might call that is becoming a normal eater, right? A normal eater uses food for the main purpose of physical hunger, right? So physical hunger is there. That is a really great reason to eat because you're actually hungry, right? So really locking and loading that particular physical cue. And then on the other side of that, learning how to pay attention and be in the process while you are eating, which means you're not mindless, you're not lost watching TV, you're not lost somewhere else. You're actually in connection and in this level of inner attunement with the body to notice not only when you're physically hungry, but when you get to that moment of enough satisfied. And it's likely a lot sooner than you think. So that's a big one. That's actually when we start to really incorporate that. Now, what we're doing is living our life, right? Then it's not about whether we're going out to eat or if that food is healthy or not healthy. It is, I'm in tune to hunger. I'm eating because of hunger. That is my cue. And then I'm stopping at enough. Now, if anybody has any questions about any of this, please feel free to ask questions. Okay. Because this is it. This is it. When literally handing you how this works. Okay. So that's a big piece. So now here we have you're taking action. You're going to quit waiting. You are going to understand that this journey is about taking in a little less than you expend. And how are you going to create that? Okay. And then one of the most powerful ways to create that is to connect with the body, working with the hunger cues and satisfaction or enough cues. All right. The next one, you've got to learn. We're going to start to get into some mindset stuff here. You've got to learn how to celebrate your wins. And you've got to learn how to celebrate your wins every single day. What happens is we get lost in our life, we get lost in our world, and we make a mess up. We eat something when we said we weren't going to. We didn't hit the gym or we didn't go for that walk that we said we were going to do. Something happens in our life, and then we make it mean that we suck, that this isn't working, right? If you are on a sustainable weight loss journey, it's happening slowly because you're figuring out how to make it work with your life. And so it doesn't feel like these huge wins every day. I get on the scale and I lost 2 pounds. I just lost 30 pounds in 30 days. Look, if you're losing 30 pounds in 30 days, come back to me when you gain it back because 90 to 97% likelihood you will. 90 to 97% likelihood you will. That's usually what happens when my clients come back to me because they've gained the weight back. So, learning how to practice celebrations, learning the little things. I'm working with a one-on-one client right now, and our word for the year is winning. It's like hashtag winning. Look how I won here. Look how I won this, right? Ooh, ooh. I was able to talk myself out of going back for seconds. That's a win. I was able to get off the couch and just go for a little walk. That's a win. I was able to take action immediately today. That's a win. I waited until I was hungry. That's a win. There's so many celebrations. There are so many wins. And when you can activate that part of your brain, this process becomes fun. It becomes a life that you want to live because you're excited and you're celebrating and you're winning all the time. Like it doesn't get better than that, right? It really matters that we have that level of mindset over and over again. The next piece, find yourself a community of like minded peeps and show the F up. So doing this alone in a vacuum is a great way to not actually get to the other side. So finding your people, finding a mentor, finding a coaching company, finding your Facebook group, like finding people who are on this journey and getting involved and making that happen. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and dig into the other two pieces. Oh, actually, let me go ahead and add the other piece, which is also a mindset piece, which is next to celebrating and winning. Okay. You need to future pace. So I want you to think about it. Everything that you think and feel has gotten you to where you are right now today. And so the way that we're going to get to where we want to be tomorrow, right? Where we want to be, how we want to feel. If you were on a sustainable weight loss journey for a year, what would it be like to lose 20, 30, 50, 70 pounds in a year? People do this, right? But they do it on day one, not on day 365. And on day one, you're not going to feel the same way you do on 365. But on day one, we've got to future pace into who that person is, who you are becoming. right? Inside of Hello Body Freedom, man, every week we're like future pacing. Who do I want to be next week? Who do I want to be today? How do I want to show up? How does that person who reached those goals, what does she do? And we practice, we imagine, we use our imagination and we tune in and we tap in to that vibrancy and that energy and that person that we are becoming. And we can feel our vibration raise. We can feel our mood elevate. We can feel what it's like to be that person. So it matters that we practice this. We have to practice in our mind the way that people are able to transcend and really get out of shit situations is to be able to envision what that might be. Now, some days are hard, but whenever you can practice this on the regular, you are going to get a lot better at it. Okay. And so we've got 3 more to go, and these last 2 go very well, and we're not gonna spend too much time on them, but these 2 are the ones that you very likely could get stuck in. And one we just talked about was celebrations and future pacing, and that is your thinking mind. Your thinking right now, the reason you keep getting stuck is because you are thinking things over and over again that keep you stuck. You are thinking things that go, fuck it, I might as well just eat the thing. Who cares? I'm not gonna lose weight anyways. I've never done it before. I tried once and I failed, so I might as well not stop. Like this is your thinking mind. And when you think those thoughts, you will stay stuck. So we really have to come into a different relationship with our thinking. We have to catch our thoughts and we have to change them. We just did an entire Envision workshop inside of Hello Body Freedom this Sunday to all of our clients about the actual step by step process of how we change our thinking and how we catch our thoughts and how we switch them and we keep moving forward. Very important. If you need help with that, drop me a message, send me a DM right here, hellobodyfreedom.com/apply. Get on a call with me. That would be great. Now, this other piece that's connected to that, it's not just that you think things that are keeping you stuck right where you're at, but you also have feelings, emotions, sensations, and a nervous system like systemic stress response that is also keeping you stuck. So this is the actual physical body, the sensations in your body, right? When we feel something that doesn't feel good, a high stress situation, survival mode, or just even feeling bored or lonely or annoyed or sad or rebellious, right? All of these words that I like emotions that giving a word for them, all of them have connected feelings in the body. But what most of us have learned how to do is that instead of feeling the discomfort and feeling what we're feeling, we have learned to not feel at all. And so then what we do is we numb it out with food and alcohol, right? We go numb it out so that way we don't have to feel. You've learned how to not feel, but actually, if your thinking is keeping you stuck, your inability to feel what you're feeling, the inability to be able to, instead of go numb out, but to have other coping strategies with whatever emotions, feelings, and sensations you are having, you will stay stuck because the thinking mind is a tough one that can really keep us stuck. But man, when your nervous system is hijacked, when you are really overwhelmed, when you are bored, sad, stressed, anxious, all the things, and then we have a strong habit loop of learning that we use the food, eat the food to make you feel better. Gonna be a long uphill battle because of what we talked about, that number 2, right? We end up usually overeating and then we easily can overeat the amount we're expending. I want you to really hear that. This is a big reason why so many of us stay stuck. Number 2, when I'm like, oh, it's just a math equation. You just take in a little less, you expend a little more, you create that deficit. But at the end of the day, if your thinking mind gets you into screw it mode and now you're just eating whatever, and if your feeling body doesn't allow you to feel and you've learned how to use food to numb out, then very easy to overconsume and over calories, energy. And then here we are overeating, under moving. And you might think, oh, in that case, I'll just exercise. But if you look at the data of a marathon runner and the amount of calories a marathon runner expends in a marathon, we're talking like a couple of thousand calories. Dude, you can overeat a couple of thousand calories at the food court in a hot minute. You know what I mean? Like the Tex-Mex down the road, right? I can knock that out of the park. Chili's with TGI, boom, you can knock that out of the park just like that, meaning that it is impossible to out exercise and out move your overeating, emotional eating habits. So, working with how you're feeling and working with how you're thinking and learning how to work with them and change them and alter them and shift them really has, from my work, has been where most of the important work lies. These tend to be the game changers, right? This is why in Hello Body Freedom, this is what I lead with because this is very different than what anybody else is working with. It's not just about, oh, this is emotional eating. How do I stop? It is actually how do we transform our relationship with our body? How do we transform our relationship so we are regulating our nervous system in a way that feels really good and makes it a whole lot easier to not use food as a coping mechanism? Okay, so we are down to the last one, my friends. And this one is so important because a sustainable weight loss journey means you're in it. You're in it for the long haul. You're choosing to take these baby steps into a sustainable weight loss journey, into a life that you want to live that works with your life. And the last piece is that you really do need to fall in love with the actual process of losing weight. How many of us have grinned and bared it? And maybe we started a diet and it felt good at first because we felt in control. But then, man, pretty soon we're like, what do you mean I can't ever have a cookie for the rest of my life? I'm not allowed to eat cheese for the rest of my life. Like, you mean I can't have a thing of ice cream? I can't have a piece of bread for the rest of my life? Eventually, it doesn't feel good, right? What you're trying to learn how to do here, what is absolutely crucial is I want to live my life a certain way. This is the way that I'm happy. I want to live my life. So how can I get a sustainable weight loss journey to mesh in with a life and lifestyle that I desire for myself? And then fall in love with the process. Like literally love your new way of moving your body a little bit. Love this new connection with your hunger and satisfaction. Love these new foods that you're trying. Love your community that you're showing up for every day. Love the process, even when you feel big feelings. Oh, here they are again. I might not love this, but man, I'm working on this, right? Love what it feels like when you're able to change your thinking and then keep moving forward and getting unstuck faster and faster, right? This is what it takes. I think this is what it takes. I think that if you don't make a decision, nothing ever changes, right? I think when you can understand the basics of weight loss, which is energy going in and energy going out, creating a little deficit, when you can understand that the most sustainable way to live on the planet is in congruence with your body's cues, hunger and satisfaction, hunger and enough as your main way, when you can be a part of a community and not think that you have to do this alone, when you can get your mindset in a straight way, like straight and narrow on the daily by celebrating your wins, by future pacing into the woman you are meant to be and how you are showing up right now. Even if the weight is still there, you're still showing up that way, right? This is who I want to be. This is how I want to show up. And then you are willing to, what I've seen, work with somebody, really work with how do I get and work with my thinking so that my mindset stops getting in my way. And especially, how do I work with my feeling body so I feel safe enough to feel that I don't have to go use food or alcohol to numb out and cope? And that is it, my friends. That's what I have for you today. If you have questions about any of this, Hello Body Freedom VIP coaching is open. If this is the year that you are ready to knock this out of the park, then come join Hello Body Freedom. This is the only trauma informed, sustainable weight loss program that is about healing the deeper reasons why you struggle in the first place. We work with getting you out of diet culture. We work with getting you into a sane relationship with food. Sanity. That means that we're going to stop depriving yourself and learn what it means to say yes and no to food in just the right balance, right? In just the right way for you, for your journey. How does that work for your life and your lifestyle? And then how do we move into just really tweaking and playing with food and playing with movement and seeing where we can get this place and working with those habits and habit stacking one baby step at a time. And as we take action along the way, getting one on one help, getting coaching, getting support, getting community. And the most important part is as you go along the way, 100% your mindset's going to get in the way. As you go in the way, 100% your trauma body's going to get in the way. Your feelings are going to come up. Big emotions are going to happen. Old patterns come back. And so as you're taking action and then something gets in the way and you're starting to feel stuck, what it's like to have coaches, a community, and a program that literally is designed to get you unstuck, that is all about working with the body, with emotions, with feelings and sensations, and with your mind, and learning how to, like going to the gym and building a muscle, learning how to work the system to feel the feelings and rock it out.